Let's watch the corkscrew in NHL action. Once you've seen it, you can't unsee it. You're going to be seeing the corkscrew happen all of the time now. Corkscrew, pass, corkscrew, pass, toe drag, corkscrew, slingshot. Let's watch McDavid do the corkscrew in slow motion. Double shoulder width feet offers puck protection. Twisting the hips and shoulders gives you optionality to go backhand, forehand, pass. It's a deception on defenders. It freezes them and keeps goalies guessing. They don't know where you're going to shoot.
Often used to link up mechanics. So we'll see that with Eichel here, where he's using the corkscrew as kind of like a link between mechanics. So it's a really simple drill. You're just going to keep both feet flat on the ground or on the ice, and you're going to cut on your inside edges. Stick handling with your hands, and you're going to get as wide as you can. Notice here comes the hips rotating from this way to this way. So notice how the hips turn. The other thing you might notice is that when the hips start to turn, I start picking up a lot more speed with a lot less effort. And then what we want to be able to do is easily access a 10 and 2 from a corkscrew. So if we watch what the footwork is, essentially we're in a nice wide corkscrew on both inside edges. We shift our weight, and then we bring our heels together so that our heels are touching and our toes are facing out. Now, there's all sorts of other things that are happening with, hands and hips and gloves and all that stuff, but we're just going to focus on one thing, which is the footwork. Here's an example of Kane using it, and here's another example of Eichel using it by using your edges to turn. And the anchor, simply put, is dragging your heel to turn. When you actually drag this heel here, what it does is it actually turns your body and moves you laterally. For example, this foot here, with our foot on the inside edge that is down and providing the turning, we still want to make sure we have the knee over the toe. And this is something you just want to get tons of reps on. And it's pretty quick to learn, pretty quick to pick up, but it's a fundamental mechanic that we use in a lot of mechanic stacks and we use to move laterally. But it's not just the mechanic, it's also the ability or the new mindset of changing direction by dragging your inside edges. That is a mechanic that we see the elite of the elite using to help them move laterally and also to help them with their dekes and that kind of thing. So the mechanic expressed in a drill looks exactly like this. So a couple of things we'll want to pay attention to. You just want to start and you're just simply going back and forth. And what we're paying attention to is toes dragging, and you can see the knee kind of collapses. We're unweighting this leg with all the weight on this foot. A lot of players, when they first start to learn this, they kind of go in a straight line and they don't fully get the arcing of each foot. So this drill is designed to help you understand and get the arcing of each foot. Also see that with Quinn Hughes, you can see a very aggressive outside edge Y angle. If you have a lot of comfort on your outside edge Y angle, it's going to allow you to twist and turn like Hughes does. It's going to allow you to puck protect like Crosby does. And it's so critical to being able to use your full mechanical advantage as a downhill skating system player. So we are going to look at what the actual drill looks like. Now, this is not a drill intended to be exactly like a outside edge in-game situation. What it is designed to do is it's designed to bring you awareness of outside edge. So we start in a corkscrew, and then you're going to roll your outside edge over. And you'll notice here that there is actually an articulation between the ankle and the lower leg. This is intentional, and it's to create awareness and comfort on the outside edge. Sometimes you see players like Matthews use this. Sometimes is you want to feel the skate boot actually touching down onto the ice, And the only way you can do that while maintaining grip is to have a lot of pressure on the heel. So all you're doing, very, very simply, is doing a corkscrew, rolling to the outside edge like you can see here. It's a dead simple mechanic, but this is an awareness thing. You'll start to discover that a lot of players, and you'll start to see this with players, is a lot of players think they're on their outside edge, but they're not, and they actually end up avoiding it. The punch step. And this is a really critical mechanic in terms of your lateral mobility. And it's this little punch step that we see here from McDavid, and that we see time and time again from him. Also see it with McKinnon right here. This thing called a punch step, which can turn into a punch turn. So what this does is it allows you to turn sharper. It allows you to change your speed while moving laterally to create gaps in space for yourself. Let's go into what that drill actually is. The drill by itself is just simply to do a corkscrew and then a punch step, a corkscrew and then a punch step. So that's like the basics of the actual drill, with a corkscrew one way, and then in order to change direction, you're going to do a punch step. We go over a beautifully untaught and absolutely magical mechanic known as the stutter, and we see it with McDavid right here. It's this little stutter step, and it's so subtle and it's so devastating, and we see it here with McKinnon. Just a little stutter step from a different angle, and that is just this little step here. And as always, you've now seen it in the wild. Now we're going to go into what this drill actually looks like. And it's dead simple, but I'm going to give you a couple cues that will make it work for you. So you're literally just going to step wide on your inside edges, and you're just stepping. It's just kind of like you're walking, but with the intention of landing on your inside edges. So our hands and feet are moving at the same time. So you'll see I'm on my backhand, and you want to be on your backhand with your left, or with your knob side foot, and then your forehand with your blade side foot. So you can see hands and feet are in sync. The other things we're looking for is we're looking for shin angle. So we see knee over toe, we see hand in the Crosby crevice, and we have good Y angle. Heel lands first, as it does in this step here, and rockers to the toe. And you can practice this stationary, and then you can evolve it to the moving stutter here. And so this allows you, like I said, to be deceptive, to freeze defensemen, to keep space for yourself without striding, allowing you to move laterally. And this drill is something that you can practice to be uber deceptive. Quinn Hughes right here, this shuffle 2.0 mechanic, and then we see it again right here. So the shuffle mechanic looks just like this. I'll just play it for you, and then we'll talk a little bit about the progressions and regressions for this. The main thing I'm coaching him on, and that you'll want to work on the shuffle, is just keep your feet on the ice. And so what this forces you to do is it forces you to cut with your heels and rocker from heel to toe. He has to cut with his heels, and there's no way around it if you're keeping your feet on the ice. So that's the base. And the reason we call it a cross under instead of a crossover, but what we're going to focus on instead is the pressure of the blade and how it rockers from heel to toe, or in some situations from mid blade to toe. That is the key. You can see that smoothness that comes from their crosses. So let's talk a little bit about what there is to actually do. You're going to do a couple crosses one way and a couple crosses the other. A couple crosses one way and a couple crosses the other.
Hi, it's Coach Ryan Shanahan. Hope you enjoyed the Downhill Skating System Magic 8 Skating Mechanic presentation. There's links below you can explore, and I highly encourage you to check out the Train Like McDavid Off-Ice program.
You're going to discover 8 exercises that will release your inner McDavid, plus 7 bonus workouts to increase your speed, your lateral movement, and your shot power. And we're always adding new workouts. Check it out and make sure you use the code SAVE50 to get 50% off today.